Good morning, USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday, and today we got a special guest co-host, Alicia Renee.
Alicia Renee is here.
Do I say hi?
Yes.
Hi.
Let me tell you something. Not
Do
only
you
is
say hi?
Do I say hello?
Not only is Alicia Renee here, you know, me and Kevin Hart, we got a production company at Audible called SBH Productions. We put out a couple projects, Finding Tamika and Summer of '85, and today we are releasing our first audio scripted dramedy. What you call it?
Scripted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Audio
Dramedy.
scripted dramedy. Unleash with love.
Unleash for
love. Unleash for
Damn it,
love.
man.
Let's try this
Alicia
again.
Renee.
Alicia Renee, what do you got releasing today?
It's funny you should ask, Envy. Thank you for asking, by the way. I have a scripted experience with Audible called Unleash for Love, executive produced by Charlamagne the God and Kevin Hart.
That's right.
He
Stars.
should let you do it because he's all over the
Jeez,
place.
It's so hard.
Stars.
It's so hard.
Pretty V.
Logan Brownie,
Yep.
Lamorne Morris. Shout out to the Plastic Cup Boys. Spank Horton is in it.
Yep. Jess Hilarious.
Jess Hilarious.
Kadeem Hardison and Jasmine Guy.
They play my parents.
That's right.
It's fully loaded.
Dope.
That's right.
Dope. And they can pick that up on Audible, so make sure
Right
you
now.
subscribe to Audible and download that.
Today is premiere day.
Today is
Today is
premiere
premiere
day.
day.
So go on out there and check that out, especially on your way to work, all right? Well, after you listen to The Breakfast Club, though. But, yes, absolutely. You know, me and Alicia Renee did morning radio with each other
Well,
for like a week or two, right?
look how history
two,
repeats
yes.
itself.
Huh?
Look how history repeats
That's
itself.
right. Yeah, for a week or two. A lot of fun.
I didn't know
Today
that.
is a full circle day.
I never knew that, though.
Well, he spent the entire time reminding me that I was a dollar store version of Beyonce.
Whoa.
So
I did
You
not.
said that to her?
I did not.
That's crazy.
I did
Why?
not.
Because she from Houston?
I did not.
Is that why?
No.
Lies. Envy.
This was like 18 years ago. No, but I did not.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
That is wild.
Don't you use the Lord's name in vain for your tomfoolery.
Jesus. All right. Well, Oscar De La Hoya will be joining us this morning.
Don't try to change the subject
That
either.
pivot was strong.
You know, they
It was a
calling
good
people dollar versions,
I
dollar
didn't
store
say
versions
that. I
of
don't
Beyonce.
remember
If you
that.
squint your eye
Prove
and dim
it.
these lights.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
That's messed up, bro.
All right. Well, Alicia Renee, thank you for
No
joining us this
reason.
morning. Well, Oscar De La Hoya will be joining us this
Yes,
morning.
he will. He has a documentary out called The Golden Boy. It's a 2-part series. I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't know if you can believe anything that comes out of Oscar De La Hoya's mouth. But we'll discuss it.
All right. And then we got front page news next. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us. Got a lot to discuss, man. Carly Russell. We'll talk about it when we come back. Jesus Christ again. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Alicia Renee. And let's get in some front page news. So now, last night was the Powerball, correct? Or was it Mega Millions? I get them confused.
What was yesterday? Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think yesterday was Powerball.
That's powerful.
That's the $1 billion. So somebody won the $1 billion. So if you have family in LA, they said the ticket was bought downtown LA.
Oh my God.
If you have family in LA, somebody won that $1 billion ticket last night.
Well, I didn't see the sign change this morning. You know, in the morning you be driving, you looking to see if the sign changed. I didn't see the sign change. It still said a Billy.
Nah, well, that's what they said when I was driving in and heard the news. I won $4.
I ain't checked
This
it.
is heartbreaking because I'm out here with y'all. I didn't even get to put my name in the hat.
Damn.
But today's a Powerball day for you because Unleash for Love is up.
There you go.
Yes, on
Okay.
Audible.
All right. We'll
Yes.
take that. Teslin Figueroa. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, beautiful Alicia and Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Tez.
I guess I should have got that ticket in LA.
know.
The one time I didn't get the ticket.
I know. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. A lot went on yesterday with Carly Russell. So give us some updates.
Oh, this is a lot to unpack. The Hoover Police Department held a news conference to provide an update on the Carly Russell investigation. Now, for those that don't know, Carly Russell is the Alabama woman who disappeared last week after she said she saw a toddler walking on the interstate. Now, during the press conference, the chief of police said that there's no reason to believe that there is any threat or danger to the public, because the public was really concerned, wanted to make sure, hey, was there somebody out there? So they wanted to make sure that people know that there was no threat or danger to the public connected to this case. He also went further to say that police have not been able to confirm much of the information provided by Russell in her initial interview with police. So let's keep in mind, she's interviewed with them once, not twice. They're looking for that second interview from her, and she has not met with them yet. The chief of police also said that Russell's toxicology report was not suspicious and that there is currently no indication of mental illness. So based upon her health record, based upon interviews with her family, they said they cannot confirm the mental illness. I thought that was important to also point out to folks. Police have still not officially determined if a crime was committed in this incident. Now, police also provided details from the investigation, which included a search of her possible internet search history in the days leading to her disappearance. Let's listen to some of that, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term "you have to pay for an Amber Alert" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "how to take money from a register without being caught" was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "Birmingham Bus Station" was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted.
Man. Some random ass searches. But, this is why I told y'all don't be in a rush to be on either side of, whether she was lying or not. Let the facts come out and the truth will come out with it. Is the whole story all the way out though? Or is just the text messages have been released?
I don't think the whole thing is. Yeah, I think the text message is the search. I don't think the whole story's out yet. They're trying to get a second interview, and I don't think she granted the second interview. My only thing when we heard the story the first time, the reason I was questionable is when you said a toddler was walking down the highway, right? And we seen the video of the traffic on that highway. And the fact that she was the only person allegedly that's seen that child, that's the only thing that raised. Because you're on the highway, more people that say, "Hey, I seen a kid on the side of the road," or "I seen a kid on the side of the road." Only one person seen this kid on the side of the road that was walking.
I don't remember them telling us it was a highway at first, though.
Yeah, it was.
It was
a
highway?
But I think...
I just thought they said she saw a toddler walking.
No, it was a highway.
On the highway.
I know it was a highway. We found that out, but I don't remember that initially.
Yeah, they said that in the original story. And just as another point of clarity for those that want to know, didn't get a chance to watch the press release, they were able to see that she did drive 600 yards, claiming that she was following this toddler. So when they told her, keep following the toddler, she's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm following." That's some of the surveillance that the video that came out earlier this week. And 600 yards, just so in case folks don't know what that is, that's like 6 football fields.
Right.
So again, apparently following a toddler on the highway for 6 football fields and nobody seeing that toddler is definitely suspicious.
That's definitely strange. Only thing I don't like when the police say, there's no threat or danger out there.
It's code for she lying.
Sure, but there is a threat of danger because human trafficking is real.
No, meaning in this case directly because people were very scared in that area.
There's not human traffickers in that area.
But he's meaning threat in that particular case because people were scared in that case.
I'm sure she made it all up. All I'm saying is the threat of human trafficking is real, and there's hundreds of thousands of women and children who go missing, especially black ones, every day. So there is a threat of human trafficking out there.
Well,
just not in this. It might not be the person she make it made up.
Well, at least let me ask you a question. I've seen a lot of women upset about this because they're saying, the threat with human trafficking, like Charlamagne said, is serious. And because of this, they feel like maybe law enforcement or police might take, cases serious anymore. So how do you feel about that yourself, Tez, as well? Because you guys are women and it's really dealt with a lot of women getting kidnapped.
1,000%. I mean, first of all, I always believe black women. Let's start there. Which is why so many of us rallied immediately. I know, Charlotte, what you said, we have to make sure all the facts come out first. But, when we see one of us missing, Tez, I'm sure you can agree, we're reposting, posting, because society will look for Waldo before they look for us. Let's just keep that a buck. You know what I mean? And so on its face, obviously we're hoping that there's more to this story that kind of leads more credence to what she's saying, but it's looking real sus.
Tess?
Well, coming from an activist standpoint, when you look at anybody being missing, you have to respond immediately, within 24 hours. We don't really have time to wait. And I think that's anybody, the 48-hour period, which also is another point. She came back right at the 48-hour period, but time is of the essence. So I think it's important that we do that, whether we're talking about black women or if we're talking about the story I did a month ago about the Cleveland, almost 30 children who went missing in Cleveland that I don't see people talking about, so whether it's women, black women, black men, black us, period. The stats show that they do not look for us in general.
Yeah.
However, to Charlamagne's point, when he says that, there still is a threat and we still need to talk about the larger issue, that's important as well. But two things can be true at the same time. Folks were like Tamika Mallory, for example, she went live yesterday to talk about her disappointment, in this young lady. If we find out that it is not true, because again, she still has to interview and we still have to go through the process. So there's some disappointment and some empathy I have for her mother. If this was not true, sending her mother through that type of terror,
right?
That upsets me. And so we just have to unpack, all of this and not make this conflate this into one big thing, but talk about each thing. For example, mental illness. The reason why I pointed that out, there were a lot of folks in the mental illness community that reached out to say, hey, we don't want the stigma of every time something happens saying, oh, it must be mental illness. Because then, we're not really digging into what happened. Now, obviously, if she created this type of scheme, something is off, but we got to be careful of misdiagnosing folks as well, right. And still holding her accountable. If she did this and she lied, she needs to be held accountable. She needs charges. We need to be very clear about that. But we also still, like Charlamagne, the larger point, talk about what are we doing in general, for the missing folks.
And furthermore, as a black woman, I would also like to say they don't take our cases serious to begin with. False claims are not the reason they don't take the cases of missing black women and children serious. It's because they are black. And think about it. If they were allegedly looking for her for 48 hours, they couldn't even find her and she wasn't even really missing. So that lets you know they wasn't really looking.
MB?
It made sense to me.
You identify as
I'm 50% black woman. So
I can see
so
it.
are you.
I can see it.
So are you. I don't know if you realize that those are the ingredients that make humans, men and women.
MB, what's your thoughts on accountability with her?
He's Dominican. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I agree with what you said. I think like this can take away from other black women when they become missing because police are
I
double
don't agree
think
with
that. I do.
I know because they don't take the cases serious to begin with.
I do, but not only that, like you just see the people that got behind this case, right? Because everybody was like, we want the same amount of press that was behind the submersible, right? So what's going to happen is another time this happens, people are going to be less likely to post because they're going to say, well, let's see what happens first.
Well, that's different.
But that's where accountability within our own community,
that's right.
is prevalent. Should be
that's
prevalent.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Tess talked about that yesterday.
Well, let's get it off your chest, Tess. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Thank you so much. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, call us up right now. Phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Power 105.1 weather.
It's a new day. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, it's Evie.
What's up, Trav?
Charlamagne.
Peace, sis. What up, Trav?
Who we got up there today helping us co-host today?
Alicia Renee.
Hi, Trav.
What's going on, Miss Alicia Renee? How you, boo?
I can't complain, baby. How are you?
Trav, you got Audible?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's out your budget.
Good. I'm calling up there to talk about this raggedy bitch, Carly Russell.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
I'm calling about this raggedy bitch,
But
Carly
see,
Russell.
I don't like that.
Girl,
You shouldn't be able to call her a bitch just because she lied. Because I don't like that. Any other time y'all be saying don't talk to a black woman like that.
He didn't call her.
Hold on,
bitch.
see, when I say bitch, it don't matter man or a woman. It could be it's like Jesse Smollett. He a raggedy bitch too.
Go ahead, Trav.
I don't just think it's just because she a woman. I think it's highly disrespectful of what she did. And now black women, a lot of these people are not going to take black women seriously
That's
now.
not true. Trav, we got to stop saying that. They weren't taking us serious to begin with. They weren't taking
No,
missing
but
black women
they
serious to
took her
begin with.
serious, Charlamagne.
Huh?
They took her serious.
What are you talking about?
No,
They did
we
their job.
took her serious.
Yes. They did their job.
No, I mean like white folks. I mean, as far as like the police, the resources and everything, they're not.
Man, they did
they're
their
not gonna look at black
job.
women.
That's what we pay police to do. Investigate whether or not somebody lying. Police can't decide, oh, I don't believe the person, so I can't investigate. We pay them to do their job. That's what taxpayers' money go to. I don't even like when we say we wasted their resources. No, we didn't. They did their job.
Lauren, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Get it off your chest, Lauren.
So I wanted to talk about the missing woman case that's going on. I hope they just find her some psychological help. Not every situation needs to be jail. This obviously is like a cry for help. I don't know why she did it. The information still isn't complete because she hasn't made her statement. But is it to come out that she made this all up. I just hope they just find her out. Not the justice system just be so cruel sometimes, and not every situation needs to be in jail.
Okay. I know y'all say that, but she definitely going to jail if she lied to them people. I'm telling you that right now.
But this the thing, right? And I guess we could ask Tez, right? How many times have we heard stories of Karen lying on black people and nothing happens?
Hello?
We hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. They'll lie, they said this, and they'll put black people's lives in danger. And they get no jail time.
That's it.
Although what I think she did is wrong, if you're not going to lock up everybody else that lies about us when we do certain things, you can't lock her up.
Is there legal standing?
Is there legal? I don't know.
Can you go to jail for?
I'm sure you can. Yes,
absolutely.
I'm sure you can. Absolutely.
You telling the absolute truth, but here's the thing: she is black, and y'all got to stop with these what ifs when you know what it is when we black.
No, you're right.
You know
but that doesn't make it fair, and that doesn't make it right because we've seen so many cases.
It's America.
In Central Park. Remember the man I was watching the bird watching man, and the lady called, and the cops is this, that, and the other, and they came, and he could have got shot. She didn't go to jail.
Sure, but this is America. And in America, all of this laughing and joking could turn to 2-3 years for that young lady real quick. I saw Roy Wood say that yesterday, and that's very true. Very true.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray!
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live?
I just want to let y'all know we tried to go to his caller. This lady name was Rochelle. She wanted to get it off her chest. She said she can't listen to Young Jeezy anymore. And the reason is because she said, you stupid. She said her ex cheated on her and took the girl to the Jeezy concert. Her coworker caught them, and because of that, she can't listen.
She
to
not
Jeezy
on the phone?
No, she hung up, man. I was trying to get to her.
Damn.
You got to let that burn, sis.
Damn. That ain't Jeezy fault, mama.
That is definitely not Jeezy's
You
fault.
can't do that
I can
to
understand the trauma, though, that being attached to it, especially if Jeezy was her and her boo favorite artist.
But damn it,
That
man.
might have been their guy. You took her to a Jeezy concert and not me. Dang.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, Envy. Good morning, Leonardo and Alicia.
Not Leonardo.
Yo, I really like Leonardo. Now I'm starting to see the turtle. I'm starting to see the head. Yes.
That's all. I used to get that in middle school. That's
Leonardo,
all.
I like that.
That's all.
All right. Well, get it off your chest.
That's only because he spelled my name wrong.
I spelled your name
when
wrong?
When you tried to make a donation to watch her win.
Let's talk about that now. I wanted to make the donation. I was going to donate a nice amount of money, but it said that you got to pay $1 a month. They would not let me do any. I couldn't even make the donation if I didn't agree to pay $1 a month from here on out.
Jesus.
That is not true.
I promise you.
I built my website. I mean, I'm a tech person.
I'm telling you.
All you have to do is click on PayPal and then put whatever. If you want to donate $1, donate $1.
No, I was
but
trying to donate
everybody was calling me.
You know, Unc is kind of slow with the tech stuff, Mama.
It could be a clickable link, bro. If you check it.
Oh, you right.
Yeah.
He's not the brightest. Hold on one second.
A lot of times
Mama.
it's a clickable link.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Anton.
Anton, what up? Get it off your chest.
Man, I'm calling about the young lady who lied on, with all this investigation. Y'all remember when the Caucasian lady did the same thing? And she goes to fiance at the altar, but they gave her like 7 years. She might be still in prison.
Which one? They didn't. So many of them.
The one in California, I think it was a couple of years back.
He's right that she claimed that this Hispanic couple kidnapped her.
Mm-hmm.
Same case, right?
No, not that one. The one that goes to her husband, and they was looking for her.
That's the one. We're talking about the same thing. Yes, it was. She claimed that it was a Hispanic family that kidnapped her and had her locked up in some dungeon or something like that. Yeah.
But then she was with her ex-boyfriend, and the ex-boyfriend came and said, "Nah, she lied. She was with me these couple of weeks and all." Yeah. They sent her to prison. I think she got about 5 to 7 years.
Yeah. Sherry Papini.
Yeah, plus a big fine.
No, she got 18 months. You talk about Sherry Papini. I remember that. She got 18 months.
Right. So like DC Young Fly say, bring your ass here. She got to go, baby.
Well, I don't know.
Hey, good morning, Breakfast Club.
Yes, I don't know what the laws are in California, in Alabama, but yes, Sherry Papini did get 18 months in prison for faking her own abduction.
But Tez, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were a little stricter with her because she specifically like she gave a complete breakdown. There was a lot of police resources that were expended, right? Like it was just more of a
She collected some Social Security money,
Right.
too. She did all that so she could collect disability from Social Security.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, and let's just compare this. I mean, we all know that people bringing up the Jussie Smollett story. So when we looked at his story and how he also, faked his assault, he was ordered to pay $120,000, a little over that, for restitution to the city of Chicago for those, resources that were spent, which would be spent in Carly's case. He also was sentenced to 150 days in jail for lying to police. And then the felony. So I think his case is probably similar to this one, but it's really that false police report and those resources that they can make her pay back.
I think she hit the nail on the head when she was like, you see, she came back within that 48 hour time.
Right.
When she came back at 47.
47?
Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah, like literally, she was right on the mark. Again, we do. I'm interested in seeing the second interview. I'm really interested to see what they can press,
I don't think she's going to get out an interview. She's going to get an attorney. You're not going to get a second interview. She's gonna get an attorney, and it's gonna be a suit. She's not gonna do a second interview. There's no way in hell any attorney would allow her to do a second interview.
I just don't want people to use this as an opportunity to minimize the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of missing black women and children
1,000%
in this country. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want people to start saying like this is why they don't take us serious. No, they wasn't taking it serious before.
That's a fact.
Like
Right.
Carly Russell ain't
Right.
got
And
nothing to do with
Charlamagne's
this.
right with that. And we agree on that. But I also want people to understand when this happens, I'm really thinking about Charlamagne, like I said, the youth that we're trying to get involved.
Yeah.
And when they say, oh, what's the point? And I know we say, well, they're not going to be down anyway. And we get that. But we want to keep people engaged. We want to keep people involved. And we still have to go hard. We still have to go hard tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. And there's going to be some disappointment, but we have to have some accountability in our community as well. And we have to stay in the fight. So all of these things be true at the same time. But Charlamagne, you're right. It's not about a white issue. And if white people care or not, I'm concerned that those who are easily disappointed,
Oh yeah, I ain't even talking about white people. I'm just talking about simple math. If one situation can make you not engaged, as opposed to hundreds of thousands of people who are actually missing, then I don't think you really want to be down.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got your rumor report. We got to tell you about Snoop Dogg. He shares why he's never been invited to the Rock Nation brunch. We'll tell you about that when we come back. And don't forget, Oscar De La Hoya will be joining us next hour. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. We got our guest co-host Alicia Renee.
That's right. And Unleashed for Love is out on Audible right now. Make sure you go listen to it.
All right, let's talk Snoop Dogg.
Rumor has it, rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on The Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Now, Snoop Dogg has claimed that he's never been invited to Jay-Z's Rock Nation brunch. There's a couple of people that said they haven't been invited to the brunch, and people are upset about it. Well, Snoop Dogg spoke about it, but you could tell he was joking, of course.
I don't get invited to none of the Rock Nation brunches. I be saying,
Don't feel bad. Me neither.
Okay. As long as me and Snoop at home together, I ain't mad at it.
I know why they don't want me to come.
Wow.
Because I'm going to be the sharpest.
Okay.
They know when I walk in, my outfit going to turn everything out. You understand
Yeah,
me?
it's
So
okay.
they're like, we don't
Clean
keep
cut.
that,
Yeah.
keep that
And
away.
then, all the next part has got to be fashion shows now.
No, it's all good. I say that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't had time to slide to one of those brunches. Maybe next time we can all go together.
Yeah, I mean, like as if they're going to deny Snoop Dogg.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg could walk into any establishment with a blunt in his mouth and they'll let him in. Probably even the White House.
Yeah, probably. And it is two events that people always want to go to and seem like they'll do anything to go to. One is Jay-Z's Rock Nation brunch, and the other is Mike Rubin's 4th of July party.
The white party.
Yeah, the white party.
I don't know about Mike Rubin's 4th of July.
Nah,
party.
a lot of people want to go to that.
Maybe
too.
now, if Mike keep hugging people from the back, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to go out there for a good time. Mike, you better be careful. Right? You better be careful, Mike. I'm hearing a lot of people say they want a hug from the back from you. Okay?
Jesus. Now, shout to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg and E40 also have partnered to drop their first cookbook. It's titled Goon with the Spoon. It's set to be released November 14th, where they share some of their crazy and amazing recipes.
Easy call. No brainer. Drop on the clues bombs for E40.
So Uncle like cook?
No, E40 can cook.
Ah.
Yes.
For shizzle.
I've been following E40 on Instagram for a long time. Like, I love watching E40's Instagram because he the going with the spoon. He really be chefing
really
up
pushes
some.
the pot
Oh my
around.
God,
I'm here for that.
He might be better than you, Leash. Just a little.
Don't do it.
Wow.
Don't even try it. The lies he tells.
Wow.
Oh no, Leash can cook though.
We can have a cook-off. I want to do a gumbo off E40 if you're listening.
Oh no, I know 40 can't touch Leash gumbo now. I ain't even worried about that.
Now, shout to Kyrie Irving. We were talking about this case the other day on Front Page News about a South Carolina woman that was protecting her family home. They were trying to take her home. It was in Hilton Head Island, and she wanted to pass it on to her family. Seems like the developer has been trying to get this 147-unit complex next to her property, has been having problems. Well, Kyrie Irving decided to help out and gave her $40,000 to help her fight that case.
That's right. Dropping a clue bomb for Kyrie Irving.
Isn't that recent where that Tyler Perry was trying to help her also hold on to her family land?
I think Tyler's been raising awareness for it, and my good brother Bakari Sellers is her attorney. He representing her pro bono too, by the way. So yes, she's getting a lot of assistance.
All right, and lastly, a New York Times article compiled a list of stories about 50 rappers, and Gucci Mane was one of them. Now, Gucci talks about he admitted that hustlers like Birdman motivated him to pursue a career as a musician. He said he wasn't even really in love with hip-hop. He said, I'm a hustler. I'm like, damn, I really don't want to sell dope all the time. It's too risky. If Jermaine Dupri can put out Crisscross, Birdman ain't really a good rapper, and I got a little money, I can get in this. So they're saying that Birdman influenced him to start rapping. This came from the New York Times.
All of that made perfect sense to me, though.
What's that?
It may sound like a diss, but I get what he's saying.
Why's Birdman over here catching random strays and he's just minding his business?
Damn.
But I guess if you think about it, if you look at it, he probably was like, damn, JD put out Crisscross, they wearing clothes backwards, I'm from Atlanta. And then you look at Birdman, and you know, nobody says, you know, Birdman, he put out great songs, but you know, nobody looks at Birdman as a lyricist, right? You don't put Birdman with Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? You don't put him on the same level as Hov, right?
Oh, no, that's a fact. And I've always thought about stuff like that. You know, I thought about stuff like that even when in regards to the presidency, right? Because everybody was like, oh, Barack Obama's so inspiring. Barack Obama, you know, makes you feel like, you know, little black kids can be president now.
That's true, that's facts.
And I'm like, no.
Yes, he did.
Donald Trump more so because the bar's so low.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? To be President Obama, you got to be exceptional.
That's it.
Like, think about all the things President Obama had to accomplish before he became president. Trump, the bar was so low. Trump is the person that make you feel like, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it.
That man shook off a random squirrel, plopped it on his head, and got all the way to the White House.
Here she go with some country saying. That's what the hell you just say?
That little rat that's perched on top of his head.
Got a little
okay. Not those country sayings.
Jesus Christ.
Something in the milk ain't clean. Boy, I tell you.
What in the milk is what?
Something in the milk ain't clean.
I've heard that one before.
I never heard that. You heard that, Red? Something in the milk not clean?
That wash isn't rinsing.
I heard, no.
That's a washing machine, right?
Yes.
What's the milk,
the
though?
rinse ain't clean. When it comes out the rinse.
The milk ain't clean. It's spoiled.
Oh.
I think
My
that's
God,
what it means.
Envy. Really?
You think what it means?
That's what it means.
Yeah, it's spoiled.
Something is wrong. Something in the milk ain't clean.
Now you
Something's not right.
You know, and then you
It's
throw
all
it out.
coagulated. Did I say that right? Coagulated. I'm sounding like you, L. Just coming up with stuff. L. Fighting for these words.
All right, and that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, we got Front Page News. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us again, and Oscar De La Hoya will be here. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Our Audible pick of the day is Snoop Dogg's From the Streets to the Suites. Here's Snoop's journey from the streets of Long Beach to hip-hop legend. Listen when you sign up for a free trial at audible.com/Snoop.
Everybody, it's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host with us today, Miss Alicia Renee.
Hey, boo.
All right, and let's get into some Front Page News. Teslin, welcome back.
Good morning, Alicia. Beautiful Alicia. We're having some great conversations today.
We are having some good conversations behind the scenes. You ain't lying.
This behind the scenes conversations off the chain.
Now let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the IRS whistleblower. What's going on now?
Yeah, 2 whistleblowers provide the House Oversight Committee with their side of the story from the year-long investigation into Hunter Biden. Now, the Internal Revenue Services employees Greg Shapley and Joseph Ziegler, who were previously known as Whistleblower X, alleged that the U.S. Justice Department officials slow-walked the investigation into President Joe Biden's youngest son. Let's listen to some of the exchange, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Prosecutors instructed investigators not to ask about the big guy or dad when conducting interviews. Here's what galls me. I don't like these attacks on the Department of Justice,
the FBI, the IRS, as if they are somehow anti-U.S. agencies. And we could be, quite frankly, using our time to better talk about crime in America that's affecting everybody, attacks on women's health, the economy, budgetary issues, public education, housing, the need for senior citizens to be able to pay for prescription drugs, child poverty, and mental health, to name a few. And yet we are doing this all over again for the Hunter Biden show to someone who has pleaded guilty and has taken responsibility for not filing taxes for 2 years.
He need to be in jail. If you ain't filed, because I know if I didn't file taxes for 2 years, they'd be locking our black asses up.
Under the jail.
That's fact.
Okay.
That's fact, but we got to be real. I mean, his dad is the president.
That is true.
And people can say whatever they want. His dad is the
That's
president.
true.
He's going to
Being
get
protected.
preferential
No,
treatment.
you're right.
It is what
That's
it is.
it.
Well, he did take the pledge, and so they feel like, the case is over. Shapley said that the investigation treatment was different from any other case during his 14-year career with the agency. They said at every stage, decisions were made that benefited the subject of the investigation. They said that, as you heard, Democrats are saying, you're spending time on this when he's already, basically accepted responsibility. And they also pointed to, they didn't play that in the clip, but they pointed to, you still haven't been able to prove that President Biden had anything to do with this. And so I want to say this, this goes back to accountability. If Democrats are going to say that Trump should be held responsible for election, using his influence to influence the election, if there is something to this, if they used President Biden's influence in the due process, then somebody needs to be held accountable. I don't think it's right to just say, oh, well, he accepted responsibility, let's just move on. These whistleblowers are saying, one of which is a Democrat, by the way, is saying, no, this investigation was not done the right way. What do you guys think?
I think you're absolutely right, Ted. And I don't know why people act like they don't know how politics work, because it's campaign season right now. We got a presidential election next year. They're going to never stop talking about this. Same way that on the other side, they don't stop talking about the things Trump did or the things Trump's family did. Like, they're going to keep bringing this Hunter Biden thing up, on the campaign trail. So they should know that.
Trump is never going to be found guilty of anything. That is a Teflon Don, my God. And he should be under the jail for all the things.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I never thought he would even get indicted at all. So I really don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to be found guilty of anything. He just keeps.
Well, he was already found. Well, let's keep in mind he was found guilty in the case with the civil side.
Yeah. On the civil suit, right?
Yeah, the civil side. So we'll see.
He'll delay cutting
some more
that check.
indictments coming up. Another indictment may possibly drop next week. They still have what's going on in Georgia. But again, I think what they're saying is, if there was some wrongdoing, during this investigation, people should be held accountable.
And they definitely not going to stop it. Their guy got 2 indictments and a possible 3rd and 4th on the way. They're going to definitely...
Not 2 and a possible.
Yes. So in their mind, they're like, okay, well, listen, this is happening to us. Well, guess what? Look what's happening over there.
That's right.
They should be held accountable, too. It's just going to be a bunch of finger pointing. That's all.
Now, let's talk about this.
Like you said, Charlamagne, if Trump get back in office, what's going to happen?
Ooh, revenge season.
Oh, yeah,
I'm looking for revenge. And there's a part of me that want to see it. I really don't.
Stop it.
But it would be good in a movie.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to see it in real life, but just to see what Trump would do if he becomes president again.
Training Day for real.
God,
Training Day
I'm
for
putting
real.
cases on all you bitches.
That's right.
Okay? All right.
Now let's talk about this over-the-counter birth control pill before we get up out of here.
Yeah, just quickly wanted to give this update. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the birth control pill, Opill, which will be available over the counter. Now, this is the first time that a birth control pill non-prescription has been available in the United States. They said this is going to reduce barriers to access to individuals that, do not have medical insurance. They don't have to see a health provider. They said that they're committed to ensuring that this pill is affordable and accessible to people who need it, and it will be available in the stores early 2024.
So what was Plan B all these years?
That's
Plan B is after. That's the Plan B after.
You got 70
after you slip up. This is the pre-slip up. Plan B is the post.
Wait, I'm confused. So you would take this if you know you're gonna get busy that night.
This is real birth control. Like you go to the doctor, you take it every day, and a real birth control. Plan B is, oops, I slipped up last night. Right. Let me go take this pill on the back end.
There you go. Come on.
That's why it's called Plan B.
Come on the back end.
All right.
Literally Plan B.
All right. Well, that is your front page news. Thank you, Tez.
And as the Negro poet Lotto, I believe, talks about Plan B. You can listen to that record and get more details.
Yeah, y'all keep ripping it out the plastic.
Yeah.
You know me, y'all gonna need Plan B. Okay.
Thank you, Tez. We'll see you tomorrow.
Condoms.
No problem.
Make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figueroa podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and make sure you follow Tesla and Figueroa on all social media platforms.
There you go.
At Tesla and Figueroa.
All right. When we come back, Oscar De La Hoya will be joining us, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
The legend.
Oscar De La Hoya. Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Now, we were talking about the documentary.
The Golden Boy, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Why do you think now was the time?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Ever since I was 6 years old when I started boxing, I realized that I was conditioned to become a fighter, to become, to take basically my family, my uncles, my father. They had this vision, like, if we have this kid who is good in boxing, and maybe one day he can take us out of the hood, you know.
Which wasn't you? It was supposed to be your brother.
It was my brother.
Right.
Now that I just turned 50 years old, and so it's like I want to do it my way. I want to tell my story my way, honest, truthful, raw, real. Just, living with the lies for so many years, it eats you inside, man. You can't go to sleep, you can't wake up in the morning, just being honest with yourself. I lived it for so many years, man, and I was conditioned. I believed my own lies all those years. That was my life. Yeah,
but do you feel like if you didn't lie, you wouldn't be the person you are now? Because everything was a story, right? It was a perfect storm.
Sure.
The Olympics, and the fact that people thought that you're doing it for your mom because that was her last wish, and like people were sold on that story.
Oh yeah, they were sold, and I think everything was meant to be. Because I don't think I would have had the drive to become world champion, to win the gold medal. When I was a kid at 18 years old, I win the gold, and the reporter right after the fight, the first thing he tells me is, "Oh, you won this for your mom." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I won it for my mom." So then the story just caught fire, and I'm not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna do my job in the ring and train and fight, and I became the golden boy, and then the lie just
kept going.
So
the lie about your mother's last words being she wanted you to win the gold medal, that came from the reporter.
Yeah, that came from the reporters. That came from, and I thought it was, at the time, I thought it was great. I really didn't think anything of it. I was just a kid, man. Just agreeing with the reporter.
Now, what's interesting about that? Back in those times, whether you were a part of a boy band or you were some type of celebrity, they did craft these stories around you just for promotion.
No, they did. And being a shy kid from East LA, whatever, I could have been from anywhere, but I didn't really have a word. I didn't really have anything to say. It's like I just went along with whatever anybody told me. I was just doing my job, and that's fighting.
You feel like when sometimes we talk about the greats, they talk about the greats' parents, right, and the role that they played, and the fact that sometimes it was abusive, but that quote unquote abusiveness made them who they are today. As a parent, are you the same way, or even do you dislike your father because of how he trained you and the person that he made you?
Yeah, well, what's crazy is that my mother was physically abusive to me, and my father was emotionally abusive to me. So it's like my father, just the other year, like 2 years ago, I actually had the courage to go up to him and tell him that I love him, because he couldn't do it to me. He couldn't tell me, I love you.
So you've never told your father you love him, but for 2 years ago? Wow.
Yeah, just 2 years ago. So and that took a lot of courage from me, man. I was like, I didn't know how to do it. So one day I think I drank a little tequila shot or something, and I went up to him and I said, "Dad, I love you." And I was like scared, like for his reaction. I thought he was going to do something to me, because that's what your head tells you. And so he just started crying, man, and he hugged me and he says, "I love you too."
Wow.
At a young age, you were taught not to cry. Is there a time you remember when you realized that was considered like mental health trauma?
I stopped crying. I stopped crying when I was like 13, when my mother would beat me up, and I was just numb at that point. But see, to your point, that's what built my character. It made me tough. So I would go in the ring as an amateur and as a pro. I would go in the ring and literally picture my mom's face, and I would just get out of control and just start beating people up, So that, I guess she was my drive at the same time. And then my father, he was just like a tough guy. He was just a tough guy pushing me every day. You got to do this, you got to do that. I mean, there were times where my father never laid a hand on me, but there were times where it's like, I mean, he was close, you know, because I didn't want to go to the gym because I was tired maybe at 13, 14 years old. Yeah.
I don't remember you didn't show you didn't talk about your mother being physically abusive to you in the doc.
Never. Yeah, I did. I said, I mentioned it a couple times, and where I just hated the fact that she would beat me up.
I guess I just heard it as beatings. Like we all
yeah,
beatings as a kid.
yeah. I got beatings. I got real beatings.
Were they were they beating you up or like beatings? Because
well, beating the belt, the hangers, and all that.
Which was
that's
abuse. Yeah, that was abuse. We didn't look at it as that back then.
We didn't.
It seemed normal back then.
It was normal back then. Yeah, it was normal back then. And I asked myself a lot of times, like, man, would I do that to? I wouldn't do that to my kids now.
That's what I was asking.
My youngest one is 9 years old, and my oldest one is 25. I would never lay a hand on them. And I would never like yell at them or, there's ways of doing things, and so it's like, I think to myself, okay, maybe I was abused, Now
the way you were with women, right? People will call you a womanizer.
You was a whore, Oscar.
People will call you a whore.
I kind of was, man. Yeah. A man whore, right?
Yes. There was a part of the doc where you said, you told one girl, I don't even remember sleeping with you because I slept with 500 women since you.
Right.
500?
Yeah. Well, the lawyer said that.
Got you.
The lawyer said it might have been like 200.
Got you.
I was going to ask, what got you to the point? Was it a woman that hurt you? Was it maybe something in a relationship with your mom that you missed?
I think it was. Now looking back at it, I think it was the relationship with my mom.
Really?
Yeah, because the abusive relationship, and it's like I hate it. I love her, right? Because she's my mom, but I hate the living crap out of her because of what she did to me, and how she treated me, and the love she never gave to me. And maybe it has something to do with that, the disrespect of women,
right?
Because of my mom.
So damn, now that I think about it, when you talk about, you said you went in the ring and used to see your mom's face, so it was just all that pain and anger that you carried with you. So when you finally did tell the truth, like how you're telling the truth now, did it feel like a relief?
Oh yeah. Well, the relief came a few years ago when I went to the cemetery and I just unleashed on her, man. My first words to her were, "I hate you." And I had this big old letter that I was gonna, read to her, and I was gonna apologize to her, because I felt that she was the victim and that I was the one, the kid doing wrong. But instinctively, I just said, you know what, I hate you, and I just started crying, and at the end, I was like, you know what, I love you, and boom, I was like, I felt released. I felt like if I, got my feelings out, and I'm okay now.
Yeah, I mean, you never got the opportunity to talk to her face to face, and
never did.
Tell her how you feel.
Never did. She never hugged me, gave me a, I love you or anything like that. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Now you when you were starting your professional career as a boxer, most people would reach out for huge not even huge promoters, huge managers, right? You got the manager from a GM dealership. Right. Which worked out right, but nobody would have went that way. They would have tried to. So what was why did you go that route? Was that the only person you know, or was it something that you said, I just like this guy?
No, I mean, my father put him there. I mean, put him in that position. They were.
But he sold cars.
Exactly. I mean, I was smart enough to fire him a couple of years later, but that was my life. It's like everybody told me what to do, and I had no problem with it. I asked no questions. I just wanted to train and fight. That's it.
Do you think your father pushed you so hard because he was living his dreams through you?
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah. I mean, my father was a professional fighter. I think he had like 8 fights, lost 7. And so that's why. So my brother was actually the chosen one to be like the golden boy, right? But he just didn't like it. He quit. And that's when my family said, you know what? Okay, you're gonna be the chosen one at 6 years old.
All right, we got more with Oscar De La Hoya when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking with Oscar De La Hoya. Charlamagne.
I wonder how you were able to have so much. It seems like discipline to prepare for fights.
Yeah,
but you didn't have all that discipline outside the ring.
Right. You know what happened was, my discipline ended outside the ring, I think when I was like 22, because I was very disciplined in and outside of the ring. When I would fight, because at one point, my first year, I fought like 13 times. So I was in the gym every single day. And then when I started getting fame and money and this and that, so I got out of control. Like the bug just came in me and just took over, you know. And I was this little famous guy in LA, you know, and women were everywhere, and I just got out of control. I didn't know how to handle it. Nobody gave me like a handbook, you know, like okay, this is how you have to treat your life, treat yourself, you know, or treat fame. And I just did what I can do, you know, what I knew, and I took advantage of it. And a lot of people took advantage of me, and you know, and that was my life, man.
The quote unquote picture, the fishnet picture, the picture. Did you think your career was over at that picture?
No, I didn't think it was over because.
What was your thought when you seen that picture when it was released?
Yeah, I was, you know, obviously embarrassed, and I was in pain because, you know, it happened so fast. But I knew in back of my head, okay, I have enough power and money to make it disappear. I have people who are gonna cover it up, this and that. We
paid
hired
$1 million.
I think it was more, you know.
But it still came out.
Yeah, it still came out. And I remember saying, like, okay, I mean, my life is over. Like, the Golden Boy is tarnished. That's it. It's over. But then this machine came out, swept it all up, you know, and we even got a forensic, I don't know what they call him, but where he came out and said, some expert and with photos and photoshopping and this and that. And he even said, you know what? These are not real.
Oscar, stop it. Come on, man.
Yeah, we even did that.
Stop.
Yeah, we even did that.
It's supposed to be you telling the truth. You know damn well those pics in the fishnet.
No, they're real. They're real.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, they're real.
Yeah, 'cause the way you did it in the doc, it was like,
oh, yeah.
He was like, I guess I'm clear. You in the doc, you made it seem like it was photoshopped, and you was like, I guess I'm clear.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but they were real.
Oh, they're real.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
hell yeah.
Okay.
What did your friends say? Because I can't imagine. My friends would joke me to this day over that picture. Like Charlamagne
he
would.
got the same kind of pictures out the worst. Don't listen to him.
Well, look. I mean, I'm sure we all have, you know, done something here and there, you know, behind closed doors, you know. So it's like now today, it's like, yeah, I wish I would have known about it because I was probably sedated when that happened because I don't remember.
The young lady you was dealing with, she said y'all was. She said y'all were drinking and y'all were on substances. She wouldn't say what it was.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, could have been. But I don't remember. Like, honestly, I don't remember. They are real. It was me, but I don't remember.
Why'd you cut her off, though? She seemed like a nice woman. Why'd you cut her off for that? Why'd you stop talking to her?
You know what I would do? What I would do back then, when I would meet women, or it was mainly like I would go to a strip club, or and I would meet these girls and stuff, and it would never be about sex. It would never be no. Hold on. I mean, when I would, my intention was obviously, but then I would start to like have conversations, you know, like just to feel close to somebody, you know. And she says it in the doc. That girl, she says it in the doc. She says, you know, yeah, we would never have sex, but he would always cry to me, and he would always like with his mom and this and that. And I was like, oh. I mean, I don't remember most of it, but it's like, yeah, it makes sense, you know, because it's like I have this relationship with my mom that's like a love-hate, you know. It's pretty crazy, yeah.
In the doc, you said for the first time during training camp with Pacquiao, you was getting drunk.
Yeah.
So I wonder what role did sex and alcohol play in your losses to Trinidad and Shane Mosley?
No, I was focused in those. I was focused 1,000% in those. But with the Pacquiao fight, I was getting beat up in training camp, which never happened before, by sparring partners. And so the last 2 weeks of training camp, I started just drinking. Yeah, I was in good shape, but I started drinking a lot. And so when I went inside the ring against Pacquiao, I was already a dead man walking. I had no chance whatsoever.
When you fought Pacquiao, did you do it for money, or did you really just want to do it for the sport? Because I couldn't tell if you were really having money issues.
Yeah,
were you having money issues?
No, I never had money issues.
Okay.
I never had money issues. I don't know how, for some strange reason, I've been able to do well, but it was just for the glory, man. It was for the glory. I mean, my career, you know, I was the kid who it's like, you know, that commercial, remember a long time ago, oh, Mikey will eat it, you know, Mikey, that cereal thing, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, Oscar will fight him, you know, that's just the way it was. Like, I want to take on everybody. And so when I heard this Pacquiao coming up, I was like, all right, I'll fight him. No problem. But yeah, money issues? No, I never had money issues.
I want to ask about Floyd. You and Floyd have had a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it seems like y'all in love. Sometimes it seems like y'all hate each other. What do you think about some of the recent things he's been doing, these exhibition fights? And do you think it tarnishes his record or him as a boxer?
I mean, I don't think it'll tarnish his professional fighting, you know, career that he's had. But, you know, in people's eyes, maybe some people that really don't know boxing, that are not, experts or whatever, or they're casual fans, maybe they can have the impression that, oh, wait, that's Floyd, like, doing these exhibitions, and he doesn't look the same as he did 15 years ago. He's not the invincible Floyd, so people will have that impression, and so maybe that'll kind of stick with him for a while. But his career inside the ring as a professional, he's going to be one of the all-time greats.
I love the part of the doc. I can't remember who you were fighting, but is when you were talking about, I think it was issues with your first wife, and you were fighting, and that's when you said you run from all your problems. But they did it to where it's like, it's a correlation between what's happening in the ring and what's happening in your real life. But do you still run from all your problems?
No. I face them head on, man. I face them head on. I've never been so free in my life, And it took 50 years, man. It took 50 years to just come out with the truth, and tell the story my way, the real way. It's never too late, I think, and I can finally, I have like 2-3 years of sleeping great at night.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool. The first time in your life?
Ever.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, with this documentary, it seemed like a lot of things you regret. What's the biggest thing that you regret? Whether it's, the way you treated your wife, the way you treated family members. What's the biggest thing that you regretted?
I think the only regret I have is like not being there for my kids. Yeah.
Well, some of them, it was like 3 of them you didn't even know you had, or 2, right?
No, eventually, the news came out, and that's how I found out, right? But not having a relationship like for a few years when they were kids, that's the one part I most regret. I can't take it back, but now it's still a work in progress. I'm not like super father now.
What's the relationship with them now? Do y'all speak? Y'all cool? Or?
Yeah, we're all good. I love them. Every time I see them, we hug. Whenever we hang out, we're like family, obviously. But there's still that little reserve, energy, that it's like, oh man, you weren't there for me. Kids never forget, man. Right. They never forget.
What's the moment that you had to fix up, right? Because we've seen the drugs, you talk about the substance abuse, we've seen the charges brought against you.
Yeah.
When was the moment that you were like, I have to change?
Man, I don't know the specific time and day, but yeah, a long time ago, years ago, but I couldn't. I didn't know how. I wasn't ready, and I think that's the word. I wasn't ready. I think my destiny was to be ready just literally a couple years ago. I just wasn't ready. I didn't know how to be ready.
Right.
It's like I don't know if you call it a late bloomer or whatever you might call it, but I just was not ready.
All right, we got more with Oscar De La Hoya when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
In the documentary, Bernard said that when y'all started Golden Boy, you didn't want to become what you despise. Do you think Golden Boy did become what fighters despise? Because right now y'all are suing Ryan Garcia.
No, we don't. We didn't become. We're sticking to our word. We didn't become the Don Kings of this world. We treat fighters fair. What's happening now with fighters is that everybody wants to become a businessman. Everybody wants. All fighters want to think that they're in charge of their career outside the ring. Like you have to focus inside the ring, but it's like, and you need the necessary people, the smart people outside the ring. And a lot of these fighters, they think instantly that promoters are at fault. And it's not like that. Not with us. We're, Bernard Hopkins and myself, we're real, man. We treat fighters with respect. We treat fighters, we fairly, we work for the fighter. That's what we do. But a lot of these fighters, they think that they always deserve more.
But aren't those fighters learning early what y'all learned late? Because you did the same thing.
I hope so.
Floyd Mayweather did the same thing.
Yeah, I hope so. Look, what better person than me to mentor these kids, And I whatever kid wants to ask me questions, I'm there to guide them and to help them, to give them some advice if they ask me, because I can't go and preach to them, okay, you got to do this and that. They're not gonna listen. But if they come to me and they ask me, then I'm more than happy to tell them.
That kind of contradicts what you just said, though, because you sound like you was a little upset that these kids want to have more control over their career.
But
y'all did the same thing.
It's not how should I say it? It's not control. It's they just don't know the business, so they ask for way more than what is what is there, in the pot. I encourage them to learn the business. We actually we tell them everything. We sit them down and the numbers and this and that. But you do need somebody who's smart, somebody who can focus on the business alone in your team and the fighter should be the fighter. You know, that's your job. You know, and so fighters today, they just want to they don't know the business, and so that's when it gets a little, you know.
Right. You think y'all could still have a good relationship with someone like a Ryan Garcia, being that y'all are suing him right now?
Yeah, we are suing him, to honor his contract. That's basically, it's like, and that's what I'm saying about these kids now. It's like they don't really understand contracts and this and that, and it's like, we have a solid contract that you just have to honor. That's it. I sued you because just to let you know that you have to honor your contract. I didn't sue you for anything else. I just sued you for just to honor your contract.
You're not trying to get no more extra money or anything?
No, not at all. Just honor your deal.
Can a fighter focus like that? Okay, could Ryan focus I got to go out here and fight for this guy? I don't even really want to fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, literally, because I like Ryan, man, you know, and I took him under my wing and everything, and, you know, and then he grew to this, you know, to a different level, you know, and he has his own people and this and that, and it hurts. You know, it hurts because you take a kid like Ryan and you want to mentor him and you want to, you know, teach him the ropes, and then this happens. I think you can, you know, forgive and forget, you know, I guess, you know.
You think you could have showed Ryan Garcia more grace after his loss to Tank? Because you kind of you lost to Bernard Hopkins kind of the same way, body shot.
Yeah,
you know, you feel like you could have showed him a little more grace after that loss.
I really don't understand like that. I've been there for him all along. You know, I was there for him the whole week of Vegas, this and that. If you would have, I don't know if you were there, but if you would have been there at the fight, it was crazy. It was nuts. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It was, I mean, I think the arena was overflowed by like 3,000 people. It was just nuts. People standing room only. I've never seen anything like it. And so after the fight, I'm walking down with my security guards, and we're just like sardines, just trying to get out. And I hear this voice like, "Hey, you know, watch your back. You know, it's gonna happen tonight." Right. And right away I just panicked, like, oh, like I just got threatened. So I told Hopkins, you go take care of, you know. So he went to Ryan's locker room, and then all my executives were at Ryan's locker room afterwards, and they were even on stage with him after the fight. But the fact that I wasn't, you know, now I'm the bad guy. You know, I was just trying to get out of there, because when you get something like that in your ear, I had no clue who it was, because I'm looking around, there's so many people. I just told my security guard, "Hey, let's get out of here."
So you would have left even if Ryan would have
won? If they told me that, yeah, I would have. I had to.
And you had that conversation with Ryan. He understood that?
I don't think he understood it. Yeah.
What is boxing missing? Because it feels like they're great fighters, but no stars and no top-notch promotion. Like when like they had top-notch promotion for you and the Mayweathers. Right. What do you think is missing?
I think it's. I think if HBO 24/7 comes back, you know, would be a positive for the sport. But I really do think that there's an overflow of too much talent, you know. So it's crazy.
Really,
there's a lot of talent out there now, but so we don't have enough spots on TV to showcase all this talent, to have a consistency. You know, fighters are now fighting once a year. You have this Crawford-Spence fight coming up. I mean,
mega fight.
Yeah,
should be a mega fight.
No, it's a mega. It should be a mega fight, but it's like the casual fan or like doesn't really know who they are. Right. Us boxing fans know, and it's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a big event, but it's not like a De La Hoya Mayweather, you know, where you had 24/7 HBO and the casual fans knew outside of boxing who we were.
They do have a show. It's not 24/7.
Yeah, they have it on All Access, I think, on Showtime. Yeah, Showtime's been doing a great job. Yeah, by the way, but there's too much, a lot of talent, a lot of fighters, and all these fighters are just fighting once or twice a year. So you can't get the exposure. You can't get the rhythm going, you know, in the ring. You fight once a year, and it's like, and you take a break for 10 months. Like, you know, you got to be consistent in boxing.
Yeah. Who you got? Spencer Crawford?
I got Crawford. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I got Crawford. Yeah. I think he's a little more elusive. I mean, Spence is amazing. I promoted him for most of his career, but I thought he was going to be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. But I got Crawford. He's more elusive. He throws more combinations. He has better footwork. But who knows? I mean, you never know in boxing.
I got Spence. You don't think Spence is too naturally big for him?
He's strong. He's a big kid. Yeah, he's a big kid. But I just think that Spence just is too robotic. He throws, when he catches you, he'll catch you and he'll knock you out. I just think Crawford is a little more, he can move around a little more and dodge the punches. But if he gets tired and Spence catches him, he's gonna go out.
Decision, knockout. What you think?
I think knockout. If Spence catches him, he'll knock out Crawford. But Crawford, I think decision. Yeah, I think decision.
Did you really want to die in the ring?
Yeah. In that fight, when I was looking back, I've never seen the Pacquiao fight ever since I fought him. And when they showed me the documentary, when the final product was done, I was like, at that moment, I was hoping that Pacquiao would land the perfect punch.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the third time I think about like suicide, like wanting to just make everything disappear,
What was the other two times that made you feel that way?
One time I was like 24. I had bought like this new Ferrari and I was driving down the freeway, 2 a.m, drinking. I was driving like 175 and I was hoping that that something would happen. Yeah.
What got you to this clarity? Was it therapy? Was it?
I think, I mean, it has everything to do with it. All this therapy, rehab, this, that. I think it was just time, man. It was just time. I mean, I've done a lot of work for my life, man, for me. And, it just kind of like, it fell into place. That's it. It's like, I'm right there. I can see everything clear now, It's crazy. It's crazy.
Word.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya.
The Golden Boy 2-part documentary. When does it come out? 'Cause we got screened.
July 24, 25.
July 24, 25.
Yeah,
all right,
2-part series, 90 minutes each. Yeah.
That's right. All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Our co-host Alicia Renee is in the rumors.
Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right.
Now, let's talk about her.
A video was released last night of Alicia Renee, and no, I'm just joking.
More
It's actually
audio released this morning of Alicia Renee. Now, let's talk about you have a project that's coming out today, Unleash for Love.
I do.
Let's talk about Unleash for Love and who's on it, the cast, and all the good things that's a part of it.
What
this
it's about.
Audible thing, yeah.
Unleash for Love is an original Audible experience. That's what we're calling it, right? Experience, yes. Executive produced by Kevin Hart, Charlamagne the God. Oh, can I add myself in there too, since I'm an executive producer?
Absolutely.
And executive produced by me, Sarita West.
Created by you and Sarita West.
Thank you. Created by me, myself, and Sarita West. Shout out to Sarita Wesley. It stars Pretty V, Logan Browning, Lamar Morris, Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Charlamagne, Nina Parker, just hilarious. I mean, just to name a few. It's a romantic comedy.
Which I think we need more of.
We do. My God. And did you see, oh no, I can't talk about that. SAG, Standing With My Union.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's a romantic comedy just about a woman who is trying to figure it out how she can have it all. Love, career, life.
Sounds very personal.
That eye roll that I'm about to give you. Don't put my business out here in these streets now. No, it is. I mean, it's loosely based off of my crap show of a dating life.
Oh, you dating somebody now?
Myself and sweet Jesus, waiting on him to take his foot off the back of my neck and send me a good man. But I digress.
Damn, that ain't Jesus now. That's the devil got his foot on the back of your neck.
No, I'm just playing. No. I'm enjoying myself out here. It would be great to be in something real. But in the meantime, Unleash for Love was just a beautiful project that I created, like I said, with one of my close girlfriends, and it's just. It's an everyday experience that every person, not even just women, can relate to. Because we all want to know how we can have it all. And Alicia is surrounded by amazing friends that help her figure that out. So, it's a show within a show. It's a reality show within a show.
And it's 8 episodes, correct?
8 episodes.
You got Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison playing your parents.
I know.
Lord have mercy.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like,
in real
life?
That
your parents in real life?
No, I love my parents in real life.
You said.
But I meant I was trying to make the connection between like a different world. You know what I mean? If I were Dwayne and Whitley's baby.
I can see that.
Could you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's on Audible right now. You know what I mean? So if you have Audible, if you have an Audible account, Audible subscription, you can listen to Unleash for Love on Audible right now.
I mean, I'm very proud of us because at the end of the day, I mean, it took us 7 years to create it, sell it. And it's just one of those situations where when everyone else is telling you no, like if you tell yourself yes, figure it out, and you're surrounded by amazing people who believe in you one day, so today's premiere day, thank you guys for having me.
Well, congratulations.
To help
Now,
promote
it says it's not a podcast. Why is it so highlighted?
Because it's an audio scripted original.
Yeah.
It is a
I'm not talking to
romantic
you.
comedy.
I'm not
It's
talking
like
to you.
listening to a television
I'm not
show
talking to you.
in your
Executive
headphones.
producer,
I'm
let's
just
go.
saying, you old enough to remember
I'm not
when
talking
Kung
to you.
Fu flicks used to be on the radio. Remember when Batman used to be on the radio and it was like pow,
Boom,
bang,
pow.
boom.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't.
And there's mad people out there that listen to audio scripted originals. Serial was a big audio scripted original.
Yeah.
Finding Tamika
Homecoming.
was a Homecoming.
Yeah.
Finding Tamika was a big audio scripted original. Summer
Sandman.
85, Fan Man.
Sandman.
Batman too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Batman. They had Winston Duke was starring in Batman. If I'm not
it's one of those
mistaken.
situations where I was very fortunate to partner with Audible my first time. Creating a project. Like I said, it felt really good to be in a position of like not asking for someone to give me a job. Right. And to be able to employ like a lot of my friends who just needed a yes and needed an open door, and to have someone as great as Shar, backing us up, and Kevin Hart, who's like one of the best to do it in comedy is just my God.
So let me ask you. So it's out today. We're talking to Alicia Renee. She has a project out on Audible. It's called Unleash for Love. Now, before I ask you how is it working with people shorter than you, I want to know when you're talking about loosely based
Why are
on.
you talking about Kevin?
I'm talking about you. When we're talking about loosely based on your life, what made you want to, give a little bit of your life to people?
Because you know what? I feel like we've all been in this. Well, first of all, there are a lot of little moments within Unleash for Love that every woman will be able to relate to, right? Like there's this guy that I used to talk to and his name was Canada.
That's a real name?
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't deserve his real name.
Damn it, man.
But
okay.
he was called Canada. Well, he had one job and he wasn't doing that job that he was supposed to do.
Hey.
Jesus Christ. Okay, go ahead.
He was supposed to drop things off that didn't get dropped off. If you know what I mean? So when you're no longer doing your job, you could just exit stage left. But we all have those guys or whatever that we're entertaining, and we give them an alternate name until they're deserving of their government name. We all have bad relationship experiences, and it's really challenging dating in LA. I lived in New York, as you both know. I mean,
we
Elle
were
and I lived
neighbors.
we were neighbors. Melrose Place.
Lived in the same apartment complex.
Down the hall.
Yep.
Yeah. For 7 years, and it was challenging dating here. So I figured, why not just take all of these situations that brought me various levels of pain and, create something that people can laugh at that pain. Oh, Kevin, did you see what I did there?
That's right. And question, it's semi-fictional, right? And so it's about the things that you and your mutual girlfriends have experienced. Did you tell any real stories? Would have to tell some of your homegirls, like, look, I'm gonna tell this real story.
Can I use your name?
Yeah. Well, Sarita and I used a lot of our own personal dating experiences. Like the very first one, I'm on a date. Spank Horton plays the
salute to Spank.
Yeah, shout out to Spank, who runs out on the bill. But it didn't go exactly how it's written here. Like how it was written here, we were almost to the end of the finish line, and I left to go to the bathroom because as women, we want to freshen up if we feel like the night is going to lead to
something else.
That's it. And I come out, he's gone, but I assume that maybe he went to the restroom as well, right?
So you sitting there waiting
for a good country ass 45
and
minutes.
waiting. You thought maybe he had to do a number 2, so you just waiting.
I'm just
You didn't call him or text him during that time.
And waiting.
Well, I'm not thinking that he has his phone on his person. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and the waitress comes and she's like, "Well, I'm getting ready to leave. I'd like to close you out."
The restaurant's about to close, man.
Man, I don't know if you see these plates that we're stacking up,
So
but
you
you got to
no
go.
reason?
And that's how I found out that he ran out.
How much was the
date.
bill? That much? Well, it was a nice restaurant. How much was it?
It was a really nice restaurant, and it was in New York. It was when I still lived out here.
How much was it?
Good, almost 300.
Drop on the cruise bars for that finesse.
Don't you do it. Take that bomb back. Take that bomb back.
Finesse.
Take that bomb back.
It was an epic
Jesus
finesse.
Christ. All right.
So, yeah, Oh, my God.
We caught it. We caught it.
You know how
So I asked,
I'm pooping on him?
ladies and gentlemen, I said, why don't you issue on him now? She says, you know how I'm going to issue on him now? How? Go ahead.
Oh, my gosh. Audible. Unleash
Successful.
for Love
That's
is
right.
All
released
right.
right now on Audible.
Well, definitely check it out. Again, it's on Audible, 8 episodes. Alicia Renee, she's here. She's our
Stars
co-host.
Alicia Renee, stars Pretty V, Logan Browning, Lamorne Morris, Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison.
Just hilarious.
Just hilarious. Nina Parker, Portia Williams is on it. Giselle
Bryant
Bryant is on it. So make sure Naeem Lynn. So go check that out.
All right.
It's on Audible right now.
Executive produced by Kevin Hart and Charlamagne the God.
All right. It's the smallest executive producer list ever, huh?
Well, that's the name of the production company, Short, Black, and Handsome Productions.
Short,
Black and handsome.
black.
I remember when he told me that. I called him on the side tip and he said, I said, bro, what does SBH stand for?
Come on, man. This should be obvious.
Short, black, and handsome. I said, my God, good day, sir.
I don't know about the handsome part,
I
but
bet
anyway.
you would do.
All right, well.
You're right. Fine might be a better word.
No.
He looks so serious.
I mean, Morris Chestnut gets mistaken for me. He said that himself, so y'all can never steal my joy.
Since you're lying.
Y'all can never break my
You just
soul.
might as well just call it tall, white, and handsome since you want to lie the whole way.
Who do I look like?
Tell her, Envy, who she look
Yeah,
like.
who do I look like, Envy?
I just said you can't break my
Envy,
soul.
who do I
So
look like?
when you squint your eyes and turn the lights down, Envy,
Who do I
what'd
look
you
like,
say?
Envy?
Who you say she look like?
A dollar store version of who?
You can't
That
break my
man
soul.
said the Walmart version of who?
Break my soul. Matthew and Tina's daughter. Okay.
Goodness gracious. You got to let that hurt go. We got to let that hurt go.
I'm going to let that hurt go, all right. I'm going to let that hurt go. I'm going to hold on to it like this poor lash of mine is hanging on for dear life. That's exactly how I'm going to hold on to it.
Charlamagne, what you giving that donkey to, man?
Man, I hate to have to do this, but yeah, Carly Russell, I think she needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her.
I felt that in my spirit. I felt that was coming.
All right. Well, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Our Audible pick of the day is Breakthrough, the first ever audio-only singing competition featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland and Sarah Bareilles with host David Diggs. Listen on audible.com/breakthrough.
Donkey up the day. Made it.
Damn, the hee-haw again.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
I ain't trying to be donkey today no more.
They should be embarrassed by what they already did. I'm not making these people do these things.
Called Donkey of the Day, and it really caught me off guard. Damn, Charlamagne, who got the Donkey of the Day today?
Well, just hilarious. Donkey of the Day for Thursday, July 20th goes to Carly Russell. I didn't know if I was going to give her a Donkey of the Day today because I was like, it may be too early to call this fight and nothing official has come out yet that she may not be telling the truth, but it seems that doubt has been cast on her story. Now, maybe you have no idea about the story of Carly Russell. Let me refresh your memory. Let's go to WVTM News Channel 13 for the original report, please.
An urgent search tonight for Carly Russell, the 25-year-old vanishing last night along Interstate 459 in Hoover.
The search is starting immediately last night and continuing into today. Right now, a $25,000 reward is being offered.
Carly's mom and dad holding out hope, knowing their daughter is a fighter.
It's a chance for her to put up a fight to try to save her life. She's going to do everything she can to put up a fight.
Can't imagine what they're going through right now.
Lisa, what do we know about this case and how it all unfolded?
Well, we know 25-year-old Carly Russell called 911 last night at about 9:30. She had left work, was on her way home. She said there was a toddler walking alone on the side of 459. She hung up with 911 and then she called a relative. Now, at that point, we believe that she got out of her car to check on the child, thinking that police would be there at any time. Her relative said she heard Carly scream, and then while it seemed Carly dropped her phone, the connection continued. When police arrived, they found Carly's vehicle, her cell phone, and personal items, but no Carly and no child.
That was the story. A young woman in Alabama went missing. I heard the story. I didn't look into the details. I just saw that a young woman went missing in Alabama after stopping to help a toddler on the side of the road. I reposted it in my Instagram story. That's the least I could do, because the reality is I wasn't reposting it because that was an isolated incident. Okay, I will repost in my story any case of a missing black woman or child, because the reality, according to the Black and Missing Foundation, nearly 40% of missing people in America are black women and black children, people of color, right? You can go to blackandmissinginc.com to see the disparity yourself. It was damn near 600,000 missing people in 2022. 57% were white, including Hispanic. 39% were minority. So once again, almost 40% of missing persons are people of color, but we only make up 13% of the population. And these stories don't ever get the proper media coverage. Okay, it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. Most people don't even know the epidemic that is missing black women and children in this country. So when something like Carly Russell comes across my timeline, of course I'm going to repost it. And then, you start seeing all the back and forth. People believe her, people don't believe her. Personally, I wasn't on either side, because whatever it was going to be, it was going to be. And all you got to do is wait a minute and you going to see. Okay, that minute is upon us. And as my good sister Alicia Renee says, everything what, Leash?
Comes out in the wash, in the rinse.
That's right. And the milk is what?
Not clean, baby. It ain't clean.
That's right. Let's go to Fox 5 News for the report, please.
Following breaking news out of Alabama tonight on Fox 5 News at 5, we're learning more about the disappearance of Carlee Russell.
Police officers in Alabama say Russell called 911 last Thursday. They say that she was calling to report a child wandering off the interstate. 2 days later, after a massive search, she returned home. Officers say before she disappeared, Russell took a robe and toilet paper from her job. She then grabbed food, got on the interstate, and called 911. Police say they also found several suspicious searches on her phone.
On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term you have to pay for an Amber Alert was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term how to take money from a register without being caught was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th.
Oh, Lord. Niggas going nigga. Now, look, they haven't officially said she lied. All right, but there's a lot of doubt on her story. See, some people study from the Old Testament. Some people study from the LeBron James version of the Bible. But instead of scripture, Carlee clearly has been reading from the self-help book of that French actor, Jussie Smollett. Okay, it's almost like she thought this through, but not really, because it don't take the Scooby-Doo gang to figure out she probably set this up herself. All right, we've all watched too many episodes of CSI, Law and Order. I mean, damn, you got digital detectives, the Instagram PIs of the world. They all knew this wasn't adding up, all right? First of all, why do y'all keep using Google as an accomplice? That's what I would like to know. All right, this is why we need Google to be AI and have like a mind of its own. And when you search certain things, Google should simply be able to ask you why. See, sometimes that why snaps you back to reality. We got to think about some of these questions we ask Google and ask ourselves, how would this sound if I was asking a human? Not just any human, but a human that you know always keeps it 100 with you, all right? If anybody came up to me and asked me, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? Just think how that question would sound to you if someone asked you. Immediately, you would be suspicious and be like, why? Matter of fact, it wouldn't even be a why from me. My reply would be, I don't know why you asked me that, but whatever you planning on doing, don't do it, okay? I'm serious. Whatever you search in Google, ask yourself, how would this sound if I asked it out loud? Would you ask a room, hey, man, how do you take money from a cash register without being caught? That right there would prompt at least one person in the room to say, whose man's is this? Okay, please check him for a wire and earpiece. Carlee, if you don't sit your stupid ass down somewhere, that's why you run things by people and not Google. Use Google after you run it by people. I'm not even going to get into the movie she was searching. You really going to search Taken and then allegedly faking abduction? Really? Okay, I'll tell you some other movies that she should have been searching that she can relate to. I got a list. Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber 2. Ridiculousness. That's a good TV show. Stupid Is as Stupid Does. Wildin' Out, because she was wildin'. Okay, A Stupid Idea. That's a good flick. These are all real movies and TV shows, by the way. This Fool, that was on Hulu. Okay, what you think she at home Googling now? Caught. Mardia Goes to Jail. Orange is the New Black. Life. I'm just saying. I saw the good brother Roy Woods make a great point yesterday, and he said, get your jokes off, but be careful with the outrage, because you're dealing with a sovereign court system that loves to make an example out of black folks, and that girl knows she lying will turn into, damn, they really gave her 5 years just that fast. Now look, Carlee probably lied. Well, don't let that distract us from the fact that hundreds of thousands of black women and children are really missing in this country. I don't know why the Carlee story caught fire on social media the way that it did and the others don't. I don't know. Y'all throwing all these conspiracies out there. Well, ask yourself, how come this story blew up but other stories of missing black women and children don't? Real stories of missing black women and children don't. You think Carlee was the only black woman who went missing this weekend? And just our luck, the one story everyone gravitated to is the fake one? I don't know. Doesn't feel right to me. But don't let that ever discourage you from raising awareness to the epidemic that is missing black women and children in this country. 40% of missing people in this country are colored. All right, I don't want to hear people say, see, Carlee and false claims are the reason they don't take missing black people serious. Malarkey, they wasn't taking us serious before this. I don't want to hear y'all say, see, they wasted the police officers' time. No, they didn't. Police were doing their job. They get paid to investigate, and they have to investigate all cases regardless if they are believable or not. That's their job. That's what taxpayers' dollars go to. So don't get caught up in anyone trying to blame Carlee for why they don't take the cases of missing black women and children serious, because they wasn't taking these cases serious to begin with. with. They don't really look for us. They don't contribute resources to looking for us. Hell, they couldn't even find Carly, and she wasn't even really missing, allegedly. So that lets you know how unserious they are about the epidemic that is missing black women and children in this country. If you are using this Carly Russell story to say, see, this is why I don't get involved in the conversation around missing black women and children in this country, you're lying. You never cared to begin with. Please let Remy Ma give Carly Russell the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
Lord.
Well, thank you for that donkey today. We got to say goodbye to BET.
Peace, BET.
Peace, BET. All right, everybody else, let's go to court. Let's go to People's Court, the Breakfast Club Court, I should say.
The court of public opinion been wide open on this.
That's a fact. I got exhibit A, B, C, D, and E. We wanted to believe because she left her wig and her phone.
800-585-1051. Let's open up the phone lines.
You're not going to separate a black woman from her wig now.
Wig expensive.
Come on.
800-585-1051. What is your opinion? This is Breakfast Club Court. Do you believe her? Do you believe it's something else? It's some conspiracy? Like Alicia Renee just said, no black woman gonna leave a wig.
It does feel strange though that this is the story that caught fire. Like, you mean to tell me all the missing black women and children,
right?
That all women and children that go missing in this country, and I'm sure that there were black women and children that went missing this weekend, but
this is your king?
Fake story, this one story is the one everybody gravitated to. That's kind of strange, y'all.
Well, let's talk about it. 800-585-1051. We'll take your calls when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host Alicia Renee here.
I would like to be known as executive producer Alicia Renee.
Oh,
Big
executive producer Alicia Renee. If you don't know, she has something special on Audible that came out today. It's called Unleash for Love.
Yes.
And we want you guys to go check it out. It's 8 episodes. But right now, Charlamagne gave Donkey of the Day to who, Charlamagne?
Carly Russell. It hasn't been confirmed that, she's not telling the truth, but there has been a lot of doubt cast on her story.
Right.
The story of her being abducted, right? I mean, I don't know. No matter of fact, that's not her story. That's the story that was out there, that she possibly was abducted. She saw a baby on the side of the road, and then she was on the phone with somebody, and they heard her ask the baby, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
But they never heard the baby, and then they heard her scream, and then she went missing for 48 hours.
But the big thing behind it was because a lot of those tactics are used to traffic humans, more specifically women of color.
All right, so we're asking 800-585-1051. What are your thoughts? Let's ask you, Alicia. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I said it before. I know I said it jokingly, but there are certain things that, when you hear it, it's like, oh, we wouldn't do that unless it was true, or that wouldn't happen unless it was true. And sadly, because I know how much squirrels cost, if I hear a squirrel that's left by the wayside, I'm thinking...
You talking about wigs?
Yeah.
Wigs, yes.
Yeah, because I'm going down with a fight with my wig.
Well, the reason I thought it sounded a little fishy was when she said she seen a toddler walking down the side of a highway.
A white baby.
Right, on the side of a highway. And the thing is, if it was a random street or off street or suburb street where not too many people drive by, I would be like, okay, maybe possible. Yeah. But when you talk about a highway and they showed the footage of the cars jetting by and nobody else seen this baby, I must have, from the footage alone, I must have seen 40, 50 cars drive by and not one other person seen a baby walking down the side of the road.
Well, no, Envy, I think her mother did say that someone in an 18-wheeler, just a random someone in an 18-wheeler reported seeing a baby on the side of the road.
Really?
So I do want to add that in there.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay, I didn't hear none of those reports.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that came from her mother. So you just never know. I mean, a parent is going to do what a parent is going to do, even if their child is in the wrong. You know how we are in our community. That's my baby. They can do no wrong.
Yeah, the only thing, all of that did sound strange. What I still find strange right now is that, I just wonder why certain cases get the attention that they get. Because as I said during Donkey of the Day, hundreds of thousands of, people are reported missing. 40% of them are people of color. You mean to tell me that she's the only woman of color that went missing this weekend? No. My just common sense tells me that's not the case. But how come just our luck, the one person everybody decides to put attention on is the person that's probably faking?
But we didn't. What about the point that Tez made? Can we bring that up?
Yeah, well,
when she mentioned class, like class is also a factor, right? When you have someone from a certain socioeconomic environment, background, obviously people will give that more attention.
And she's an AKA too.
Yeah, she was an AKA.
But I've seen a lot of people talking about the case because they were comparing it to the submersible, right? Saying, why was all this press on the submersible and not on
the
this
500
young lady?
people?
And people were really pushing that fact.
Class. By the way,
that's class.
The guy was a billionaire.
It's the submersibles filled with the millionaires and the billionaires.
Yes.
I was getting there. The millionaires and the billionaires. And then that same week, though, there was a ship. I want to say it was like off the coast of Greece somewhere, and it was like 300
immigrants, migrants
of color who are no longer with us,
and nobody talked about that. You're right,
not a single thing.
Well, let's go to the phone lines.
Class and race.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, good morning. This is Kay.
Hey, Kay. Good morning. What's your feeling? What's your thoughts?
Every kiss begins with K.
So I just think that she used the unfortunate truth that America doesn't really care about missing black women to pull off this hoax, and she didn't think that people really were going to be out there looking for her like that. So she was like, "Oh crap, I need to reappear some type of way."
Kay, that is a great point. Think about that. Yep. What Kay said makes all the sense in the world. Wow, she knew that they probably weren't going to really look for her because she's a black woman, and then she realized, wait a minute,
they are
looking for me. Let me take my ass back home.
Hello.
It's Lauren, the truck driver. Good morning, guys.
Hey, Lauren, the truck driver. Good morning. What's your thoughts, Mama?
I think she is lying. And you know what?
What?
I don't want her in jail, though. I think she got something going on mentally, but Charlamagne, don't you say not everybody needs prison, they just need some, mental health facilities?
Oh, I agree with you, but you're talking about what I want versus the reality of the situation. The reality is she's a black woman in Alabama, and that legal system probably gonna make an example out of her if they find out that she was really lying.
Right.
Exactly.
800-585-1051. Just opening up the phone lines. I'll be in Breakfast Club Court. Alicia Renee, our guest co-host, is here. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Everybody, it's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, Alicia Renee is here. She's our guest co-host. She has something special on Audible today. It's called Unleash for Love.
Go check that out.
You should definitely check it out. 8 episodes. But right now, we're in Breakfast Club Court. We're talking about Carly. Now, Charlamagne gave her a donkey today.
Yeah, man, I gave Carly Russell a donkey today. I didn't know if this fight was too early to call, but it seems that a lot of doubt has been cast on her story. So I gave her a donkey today.
Hello, who's this?
Storm.
Hey, Storm. Good morning. What's your thought?
Okay, so Carly knows she's wrong. I feel like she has a mental illness. I feel like she did something. She's craving attention and acknowledgement. Like some people fake their death to see who all come to their funeral and to see that she was loved and stuff like that. But this wasn't the way, because now she's facing, potentially facing prison time, as well as, the judge is definitely going to make her pay restitution, even though it's the officer's job to investigate. But they're going to say she did use those resources, so therefore they will charge her restitution. And by being Alabama, it's going to be inflated. So she's looking at probably like a $250,000 bill
that she can't pay.
Yeah.
We also got to stop blaming this on mental illness. Some people just make poor choices,
That's
y'all.
a fact.
Everything ain't mental illness. Everybody ain't, dealing with any type of mental illness, any mental health issues. Some people just make poor choices.
Yeah. Right, but you do need punishment, right? And although it's a sad situation, we honestly don't know what happened. I think for all these situations, people need some type of punishment, because if there is no punishment, people continue to do it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why does the punishment have to start with us in our community? That's my thing.
I agree with you.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think someone brought it up earlier. I don't remember who, but the white women that always call.
Yeah, I brought it up earlier. I was like, it's not fair that the white women who call police on somebody, right, and they get no jail time or anything or no restitution. But in this case, they do. But I also feel like all those white women that call the police falsely on black people should have to go to jail.
Sure.
And the reason being is because there is no punishment. If there's punishment, if one person gets locked up, the next person be like, you know what? I ain't calling police. I don't want to go to jail.
I'm not negating that. My bone is, why does it always have to start with us? Because I do believe, like what Shar was saying, she's in a southern state. 9 times out of 10, they're going to try to make an example out of her. So it's going to start on our watch. But you're not going to keep that same energy, though, if this time next week some Karen calls and says that such and such tried to kidnap her, or some person of color tried to kidnap her.
But this country never has. And y'all are talking like America is fair. It never has been. That's why we're always out here fighting for equality. There is no double standard when it comes to black and white people. There's a standard, and that standard is whiteness. Malcolm X once said one time, he was like, there's no such thing as a second-class citizen. You're either treated like a citizen or you're not. We're not second-class citizens. You're either treated like a citizen or you're not, and that's just what it is when it comes to black and white.
Can I give a little pushback on that? You're not wrong, but the challenge is that we hold when something like this happens, more specifically within our community, because we're instinctively like, okay, well, this person is going to keep everyone else from believing the next black person or whatever whenever they're kidnapped. So we're like, there has to be some accountability.
But they never believed us from the beginning.
The white people will always say, I don't want to keep making it white people, but people outside of our race will always say, yes, there needs to be some accountability. So we're getting double accountability, but nothing happens to anyone outside of our community.
I agree with you.
I mean, all we can do is meme.
Over there.
Yeah, that's
all we can do is meme and make jokes.
I seen mad memes yesterday.
The legal system in Alabama can really hold her accountable.
Right.
Yes.
Question. Is Beyonce coming to Alabama anytime soon?
She can't go. Seats taken.
What if she did all this for Beyonce tickets?
Yo, shut up, man. What do you mean?
Is that the conspiracy?
About to feel bad. They can find him and give you tickets.
Invite her to the show. Look up this tour schedule. Look up the Beyonce tour schedule. Is Beyonce coming to Alabama anytime soon? Just look it up.
I know.
Just look it up, please.
Are we still in the people's court?
I'm just asking. I promise. Is she coming to Alabama anytime?
Beyonce in Alabama.
You're entertaining this?
I am. I just want to see.
I'm telling you, if she coming to Alabama anytime soon, man. I'm telling you, she might have did all of this with Beyonce tickets.
4 dates. Let me see. When is she? If she's coming to Alabama, I don't even know why I'm looking this up. I don't know why I'm wasting my time looking this up. But let me see.
Our Inside Connect, who's in studio, says no, it's not happening.
Oh, she's not coming to Alabama no time soon?
No, I see Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit.
Oh, Louisville was last week. It happened last week.
She's
coming to St. Louis, Arizona, Vegas.
Anywhere near?
Louisville.
Okay.
All right, never mind.
Womp womp.
That won't be in Alabama.
You should have conferred with your person in the corner. You know who that is.
I didn't think about it. I forgot.
What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story: don't leave your wig by the wayside. It's gonna tell on you every time.
The moral of the story for me is, man, yes, this woman probably lied, but don't let that distract us from the fact that hundreds of thousands of black women and children are really missing in this country, and that should not stop you from raising awareness to the fact that hundreds of thousands of black women and children are missing in this country. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want to say this, because people in Alabama might be listening.
But what?
One monkey don't stop no show.
All right.
When we come back, we got your rumor report. We got to tell you about G Herbo and Finesse 2 times. Yo, y'all are snorting, brothers and sisters. Y'all snort all the time. But y'all just you know what?
I'm so embarrassed now. I'm never gonna get a man.
Jesus Christ! It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Rumors are next.
The Breakfast Club.
Really got to start recording the behind the scenes of the Breakfast Club.
Why is that?
Because I just heard the most hilarious conspiracy theory. What if Carly Russell's boyfriend wanted her to get an abortion, but she thought he said abduction?
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
So she didn't know, so she had to Google to find out.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh my goodness. I'm not messing with you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
If he sounds like me with a thick accent, I can see that.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, shout out to Alicia Renee. She's our guest co-host today. And she wants the world to know that she has an Audible project coming out today. It's Unleash for Life.
Unleash for Love, man.
Unleash for Love. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Unleash for Love is a romantic comedy on Audible, an audio scripted original, a semi-fictional story about Alicia and her mutual girlfriend's experiences with dating and other stuff.
All right, and she wanted me to tell you guys that she's very smart, she's intelligent, she's a hard worker, she's a businesswoman.
You trying to sell off my sister or something?
No, you might.
But it's the fact that he said I wanted him to tell you.
I was supposed to say it.
Oh my God, Envy,
I'm sorry,
you
let's
had
rewind.
one job, and you're
I want y'all to know that she's very smart, she's bright, she's educated, she's a great cooker, she's a businesswoman. Now,
you better than me, because what do I tell you, Leash, when you tell me to find you a man?
Hold on.
You said you don't know anybody.
Boy, you need to shut up. You need to shut up. This man tried to pronounce kerfuffle and had a kerfuffle. His whole mouth had a kerfuffle.
That thing had him in a
chokehold. That was crazy just now.
I tell you.
You know what? I was going to be mean. That's why. That's why. I was going to hit it with
Let me tell y'all something. You know who does not play about me?
God.
Okay.
That's right.
You see how you keep trying to clown me on the side?
I'm not. You know
I
what?
see you
That's
back
what I
there.
get. That's what I get.
That's exactly
what I
what you
get.
get. You better
That's
stop
what I
playing
get.
with
We've been
guys,
together
child.
13 years. I ain't never heard you let that word fly. Producers, don't forget to find that word and clean it up.
Put a little razzle dazzle on that. On that kerfluffle. On that kerfluffle.
All right, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk G Herbo.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Call out a name,
exactly
or you
what you
gossiping,
get.
or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
Don't play about me. I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Ah, man, that's what I get. All right. Now, G Herbo, all right, of course, he's from Chicago, faces potentially years in prison after agreeing to plead guilty to federal fraud charges in Boston. So, now this is for federal wire charges, allegations that accuse him of using people's stolen identities to fund private jets, a Jamaican villa, a designer puppy, and a host of others. So it looks like he might be having to do some jail time. The wire fraud count carries up to 20 years in prison.
Damn.
Go hard or go home, huh? Well, at least he lived, allegedly.
So they're believing that hopefully he will be getting a term of 2 to 3 years. But he could face up to 20.
Does he have to pay restitution on all that?
They didn't say as yet. Do we have the news story? Is the news story up there? Not yet.
G Herbo's a good brother, man. I love his mental health advocacy. I don't know the full story. I don't even know how I missed that. Did he get arrested for that before or something?
This was a long time ago he got arrested for that. This was like maybe 3 years ago.
So he found guilty? Because I'm saying allegedly.
He pled guilty.
Oh, man.
He pled guilty.
Damn.
All right, now Finesse two-time, of course, Memphis rapper is wanted by Houston Police Department for allegedly stealing a rental car. That's what the docs say. So they're looking for him as of right now. Now, let me tell you about this, what these rental car people are doing and these rental car places are doing, just so you know. If you rent a car and you have it for over 30 days and it's not returned, even if you pay for it, they are filling out these paperworks that saying that the car is stolen. It's happened to actually 2 people that I actually know. Somebody had a car for over 30 days. He paid it. They took the money out, but I guess you have to bring it back and redo it, whatever it may be. And he got pulled over and he was arrested and locked up for it. And then when he got out, he had to prove that he actually paid it, and the charges were dropped.
Why wouldn't you just go back to the rental car place and keep doing what you?
Because most people don't think about that. You just pay for the car. Like, you have a rental car, you just pay weekly or you pay monthly or you pay whatever it is. But you don't think that you have to bring it back in 30 days and redo it. You just pay it and keep it moving.
So they think they're scamming?
No, people think that they're stealing the car.
But
I guess
if
it's
he had
something
to
in
pay-
the system that if the car doesn't come back in a certain amount of time, it automatically sends out.
But he had paperwork, right?
Yeah, why would they think
So why
somebody's
did they
stealing
arrest
something
him?
in their own name? Like, I'm gonna fill out all this paperwork to be stealing?
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
I've
Who
seen it
knows,
happen
man?
before.
Niggas be nigging, so if these people thinking like I'm thinking, always keep your gossip.
Stay scamming.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Tell them about Unleash for Love one more time. It's out today. Tell them.
Unleash for Love is an original audio experience, executive produced by Kevin Hart, Charlamagne the God, co-created by myself and Sarita West, executive produced by us as well, starring Logan Browning, Pretty V, Lamore Morris, Jasmine Guy, Nina Parker, Charlamagne the God, Just Hilarious. I mean, the list goes on.
Kadeem Hardison,
Jasmine Guy. They play
Portia
my
Williams,
parents. Yeah,
Giselle Bryant,
Carlos King. I mean, it's just it's a loving experience. It's loosely based off of dating and life experiences around myself and Sarita West. I mean, at the end of the day, if people are closing doors on you, sometimes you have to create and open your own doors.
Is it really that hard out here?
It really is. I've been single for how long? How many times have I asked you to hook me up with somebody? You have nobody.
I'm just
don't make me fight you.
But I say that to my sisters. I don't want to be involved in their love lives. I don't want to hook y'all up with nobody, or I don't want to be responsible for nothing.
You know how you know it's bad? I kid you not. Duval called me at 6 a.m. LA time to literally laugh in my face and say, "Leash, you're still single." At 6 in the morning.
You might have to change your friends.
1,000%.
Like if they call you at 6 in the morning, they play sounds like this. You should just change your friends.
You know what happened the last time you tried to play with me?
You right.
What did God do?
You right.
He gave you a what?
A kerfuffle.
Oh, okay.
God put something in his mouth that wasn't supposed to be there.
See, y'all gonna have to
you
stop
go
playing
too far.
now.
See,
You go way too far.
See how I go too far?
While you burning Palo Santo?
See how goes too far? Look how he's holding it. You know what?
What spirit is that letting in?
That is your rumor report.
Spirit.
Did a word not come out of your mouth that wasn't supposed to be there?
A word. Yes.
Okay, so God put something in your mouth that wasn't supposed to be there. By the way, we got to stop giving God all of this credit for stuff that he ain't got nothing to do with.
He's over
she
here
ain't got
running his
nothing to do
own
with.
business. Sweet baby Jesus ain't got nothing to do
God
with
don't
this.
got nothing to do with none of this. We got to stop this.
It's just tomfoolery now.
All right.
That's right.
But you guys can check out Unleash for Love on Audible. Today's premiere day.
That's right.
And we're doing big things. I'm very proud.
All right. Well, we'll be back. It's the People's Choice Mix and shout to Pop Smoke. Today would have been his birthday if he was still alive. So rest in peace to Pop Smoke. We're going to start the mix off with some pop. It's the Breakfast Club.
And happy birthday Omar Epps too, man. Salute to the good brother Omar Epps.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
When it's time to get with someone special, the best way to do it is with Magnum large size condoms. That gold foil wrapper is a badge of honor, and it means you're protected. And you take care of things with comfort. Accept no substitutes. Bring the pleasure with the gold standard. Magnum large size condoms.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We have our guest co-host Alicia Renee, who has an Audible project out today, Unleash for Love. Definitely check it out. There's 8 episodes. She's also executive producer. She's executive producer with a little guy named Leonardo. But we just want to say I appreciate you for joining us today.
McKelvey.
Thank you guys for having
Kevin Hart
me.
is an executive producer as well. All right. It's a great project, romantic comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can put your headphones on and it's like you're listening to a TV show.
That's right. So you got.
Now you back to burning the Palo, huh? Letting that good spirit in, huh?
There you go.
That's right. Well, for people that don't know, yes, we've been joking all morning with Alicia Renee, but yes, she's a great soul, very smart. You probably remember her on BET. She can cook. She's very talented businesswoman.
You know what this means a lot to me? This is such a full circle moment because you were my very first interview as far as like, you know, when I was an on-air personality for BET. And then he's been one of my longest friends and champions. And so like to be here now working on a project that you co-created and hearing once again that I'm a dollar store version of Beyonce while I'm out here trying to do big things.
Jesus. Yeah, me and Alicia was neighbors for a long time.
In what building?
Melrose Place.
Melrose Place. The same building where the woman told me to watch out for you because there's a young man who lives in this building and y'all look alike and Envy might have a type.
Oof.
Because she would hear strange things coming from that apartment.
Woof.
That's a fact. That really happened.
That did not happen.
Woof.
That did not happen.
No, that woman really told me that.
She did not tell you that.
I promise on everything
she
that
let
woman
me tell you
told
a
me
little bit of that story. Like
Those
my
hallways were
my
popping,
best friend, one of my best friends used to live in that building. Little Sean.
In our building.
Yeah, little Sean, who looks a little like Charlamagne.
I mean, you know.
Little Sean?
Dog skin,
Not the
bald head.
No.
Just short with a bald head, that's all. You don't have the detail. God didn't give him all the details he gave me.
Didn't your cousin live in our building
Yeah,
too?
Courtney lived there too.
Yeah.
Lived there too.
Yeah,
And you know what?
we
I gotta
all lived there.
apologize to Roxy. I didn't get to apologize to her.
Why?
I don't know if I want to put this out there.
Well,
What'd
don't
you
put it
do?
out there.
What the hell did you do?
If you don't think you should, don't do it.
It was like 17 years ago.
Whisper it to me. What'd you do?
Try to switch the subject. And you
What'd you do to Fox?
being with Lil Sean in the apartment by yourself though. Y'all know y'all on the radio and y'all whispering to each other, you crazy ass humans. y'all on the radio whispering to each other.
Did that hood-ish to Fox? You had her rolling around here looking like she couldn't afford to fix that?
Yep.
But the
You
more
owe her an apology.
I do owe her an apology.
Rox, he owes you an apology for sure.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is when Envy was I don't know what he was doing in that apartment complex.
That's my boy. There was no sounds coming out that apartment. Stop it. Like, people gonna believe it. That's my brother. I went to go see my brother at the apartment complex.
She did say
no. She did not say that.
She did say Envy might have a type, so you need to be careful. I promise you, she said that. She told me that 13 years ago.
No.
And guess what I've been dealing with for the last 13 years?
How come you never came by for Gumbo Night if you were in our building? We had Gumbo Night, game night.
That's right.
I don't know. He never invited me. I don't know.
Leash used to have the food. I used to have the cable. So before my wife,
cable?
for real. So before my wife moved up here, Leash would bring the food on Sunday nights, and we'd watch True Blood.
You have to clean that up, because it sounds like before your wife came up here, we were.
No, I'm saying that in reference. That's why I ain't had no food. I ain't had no home cooked meals.
And I didn't have the cable. I was working for BET.
You didn't have the cable. BET wasn't paying the cable.
No, they weren't. I was the least paid person.
Jesus.
And then when my wife did move in, we all became one big happy family.
There you go. That's what I was saying. You got to close that gap.
That's
now.
right. They talk more than me and Leash do.
1000%. Well, we do have we have a family group chat.
We do have a group chat too.
There you go.
That's right.
All right. When we come back, we got the positive notice. The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey everybody, it's DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Would you like to leave on a positive note? Usually Charlamagne does it. Would you like to leave on a positive note today?
Before we do that, I do want to make sure everybody goes out there and listens to Unleashed for Love on Audible. It is available today. It stars my good sister Alicia Renee. It stars Pretty V. It stars Logan Browning, Lamorne Morris, Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Jess Hilarious, Portia Williams, Giselle Bryant. It is a romantic comedy. If you like, good scripted series, this is a great one. It's just that you're listening to it, and it is the first romantic comedy that we've put out on SBH Productions with Audible, myself and Kevin Hart. So I really want y'all to go check this out. Make sure when you go on Audible, you leave a review, you leave a rating. I can't wait to hear the feedback on Unleashed for Love. Oh, real quick, I just want to tell y'all, man, I'm going to be on Andy Cohen tonight. I know we had Oscar De La Hoya on Breakfast Club earlier as a guest, but me and him will be on Andy Cohen tonight. Watch What Happens Live on Bravo. So check us out.
No. Positive note, let's go.
Many doors will close on you, and many people will tell you no. All it takes is one door and one yes. So thank you very much, Charlamagne and Kevin Hart, for giving me one of my next big yeses. God got us always, and we give him glory for it all.
Always.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?